Wildfires are one of the deadliest natural disasters. They happen every year in the U.S., and firemen need to risk their lives in order to prevent them from spreading. Even though wildfires can be contained in small areas, they will destroy all the wildlife population that lives in that specific area. This means that wild animals are the ones who suffer the most from the wildfires. And sadly, there is nothing that we can do about it. However, a family from Alabama decided to do something incredible by adopting a wild bobcat and a fawn. Animals that live in the forest are never safe. There are always predators hunting for their prey, but most animals have natural defense systems against this, although they don't have any way of protecting themselves against wildfires that burn everything they touch. Even though firemen might do everything in their power to contain wildfires, there is no way to stop them. Fires are fueled by oxygen, and they keep spreading from tree to tree. The worst thing about this, though, is the fact that fires burn everything in between the trees, including poor animals who don't know how to protect themselves. This picture shows us just how horrific wildfires are. Animals don't know what to do when this happens, and most of them try to run away, but sadly, they end up getting burned. Can you imagine how terrifying it must be to see everything around you turn into flames and ashes? Things get even worse than this, since the carbon dioxide that the fire creates makes animals and people who inhale it dizzy, increasing the risk of passing out. Our story starts with a little bobcat who was abandoned by his family. The bobcat's family ran away from the fire and they left it all behind, including their newborn baby. The only chance at survival that the baby bobcat had was to be saved by humans. Everyone tries to help out when a wildfire breaks loose, but the government actually advises civilians to stay away from them. Not just that, but the government also says that people should not adopt wild animals because they might end up hurting them. Luckily, this sad bobcat baby was found and saved by a family from Alabama. The bobcat baby was saved by the Kraus family, who lives in Alabama. The family saw how terrified the little bobcat was, and they knew they had to do something about it. Not just that, but the family also saved a small fawn, who was also abandoned by her family members. Even though the family's dog was never prepared to welcome a small bobcat and a fawn, he was really nice to them. The dog didn't seem to mind that they were wild animals, and he took them under his care. Can you believe this? 1 week after the Kraus family adopted the bobcat fawn, they realized that the two animals were there to stay. They don't have anywhere to go, and the Kraus family decided to name them Benji and Athena. The fact that Benji is one of the most adorable bobcats that we have ever seen made it easier for the Kraus family to adopt him. Having a wild bobcat around your house is not the usual thing, but the Kraus family was willing to put it all on the line in order to help out. The Kraus family was taking good care of Benji and Athena. They were feeding them delicious food, and they made sure to play and pet them so that they felt welcomed around their house. The Kraus family says that the most amazing thing about having Benji around the house is how playful this animal can be. Bobcats are playful by nature, and this basically makes them big cats who love to jump around everything. Although there was still one problem that the family needed to figure out. The Kraus family knew that Benji is going to grow up one day, and they started thinking about what they were going to do once that happens. Benji could always attack them with his sharp claws or run away into the forest. Even though Benji could become a ferocious beast once he grows up, the Kraus family knows that he's a good boy. The little cat loved nothing more than to play with his new family, and this made it clear that he is never going to hurt them. It didn't take long for Benji to start growing in size, and keeping him in the house became a problem. This is when the Kraus family decided to invest some money, and they built him a special crib in their backyard. However, Benji never stopped playing with the family dog. Even though Benji was no longer a small cat, he never forgot about his friend Athena, the fawn. The two were natural enemies, but in the Kraus house, they are friends. Now that Benji is a big kitty, the Kraus family is more careful around him. They don't want to get hurt, and they make sure to play with him from a distance. However, you will never believe just how much Benji loves the Kraus family. Benji knows that the Kraus family saved his life, and he makes sure to thank them every single day. Isn't it crazy how attached this bobcat is to the young boy? The big bobcat gives the young Kraus boy a huge hug every morning he wakes up. To make things even better, the boy can barely get away from Benji without giving him a few pets first. Don't you think that it's adorable how Benji likes to be carried around like a small kitty? Nonetheless, this story shows us the tragedy that wildfires cause and how much a bobcat can care for his saviors. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider sharing it with your friends and family. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.